Don't you motherfuckers even try to sound happy over there.
Not trying to.
Ah!
Bring in the auto down quick. And
I don't know, guys. I'm bummed out. I'm gonna. This is one of those times that you guys are gonna have to help carry this a little bit. Like I'm gonna be very
well, listen.
apathetic.
We look at the game.
Just look at the stats.
Overtime loss. The Cowboys by a field goal here, 28-31 to the Green Bay Packers.
31-28, Green Bay Packers.
Picked apart by Christian Watson.
Christian fucking Watson.
Decided to show up.
3 tutties or just 2?
Three.
He had 3.
Fuck. 3 tutties with like 110 yards.
He had 3 tutties.
Now, I want to take us back to the beginning
Last
of the
week,
game. No,
when we were in the bye,
No.
and we hadn't lost to the Green Bay Packers yet. Here, let me get one of these. Like, I'm gonna still do one of these though. Crack
Yeah,
me if you
yeah,
got him. Like, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. It's like I gotta drink my way through this. Crack me if you got him over there. I gotta drink my way through this one. Man, oh man, I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go back to the beginning of the game. First 2 drives.
3 notes for the Cowboys.
Right, and there was the pick six, not the pick six, but the pick at the
That wasn't even in the
red zone.
I think that was like 3rd or 4th drive.
No,
but I
but
know what you mean. Start of the game.
The first 2 drives plus the pick.
Yep.
If we reverse all that, we're looking at, instead of being a 14-14 game, a 21-0 game.
Well, even the first, when Dak, so we had scored a touchdown already. The Dak Prescott interception in the red zone. AJ's going for it. Crack him if you got him, son. If we just get even 3 points there, we're up 10-0, right? Which is 10-0. Nothing to scoff at. Instead, we throw an interception. Packers go down, score. So now it's 7-7. That's shitty, right? Next drive, I'm pretty sure it was like the next fucking drive, or at least it felt like it. Cowboys march down, throw another interception. They drive down again, score again. Now they're up 14-7. It just was one of those things that felt like we had control of the game and we just had to give it away. And it's hard to watch. As a diehard fan, it sucks.
I don't know if I would agree with you on saying that we had control of the game.
Before the 2 interceptions.
Right. Yeah. The 2 interceptions were definitely not a great thing for us, obviously. Not having those 2 interceptions, the Packers obviously capitalized on both of those. You know, we didn't get the 1 touchdown, which it's like we needed it right in that red zone. So yeah, I still think that we have a glaring issue with our play calling with Dak Prescott. I think when we see TP20 take it on first down and he goes for like fucking 8 yards, sometimes even clears the first down. Why are we not? Why are we not following suit with that the whole time?
You're right. We look at the run game today. Tony Pollard, 22 carries, 114 yards, 5.2 average, of course, a touchdown. Then Malik Davis, who shows up, filling
Davis.
in not a lot, but still carried the ball 5 times for a 7.6 yard average and 38 yards. So what are we talking about here? Like, the run game is certainly not there's no reason to not be utilizing that or leaning into that as much as possible.
Yeah, but when you can throw it on first down, why wouldn't you just throw it every time?
And you say that all the time. And
it drives me absolutely nuts. Okay, this is one of my biggest pet peeves with our play calling. It's been the last few years. I think the last time that we actually stuck to like running on a first down no matter what was probably 2016. But it's just one of those things in the last couple of years. It feels like, hey, first down. Just run the ball, get 3 or 4 yards. But every time, it seems, I don't know if it's every time. We should dive back to see what it is. But it feels like every time on first down, we try to do some stupid throw. We never complete the pass. And now we're 2nd and 10 and behind the down and distance. And
they run it on 2nd down and get 3 to 7 yards.
And then
why the fuck didn't you do that first time?
It's something I can't explain. And it drove me nuts this whole year, and 100% it drove me nuts all of last year. And I hope they fix it. But something that's more even glaring than that is we can't stop the run on defense. We can't stop the run on defense.
Well, let's look at
can we get up Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon's stats?
Aaron Jones, he would seem to be able to rip like 6 to 8 yards.
Look at it. Aaron Jones, 24 carries, 138 yards. Very similar stats to TP20. And then AJ Dillon, 13 carries, 65 yards for 5 average. Like, We're just getting so you add those their 5.8 and their 5, that gives them a fucking a 5.4 average that they
Probably
had?
more because of the carries that Rodgers or Jones had.
There,
Sorry,
5.5 average and just like over 200 yards. So it's just it just at some point, if you want to win in the playoffs, you have to be able to stop the run, and then you have to be able to run. Running's not our issue. It's, I think, bonehead play calling. I don't know. You have to speculate a little bit. Is Dak calling out of the run play? What's happening? It's one of those tricky things, but it just drives me absolutely bonkers that we throw on first down so much.
I think the biggest tell tonight has been obviously the run game is dismal. Now, I was gonna say I think the cornerback scenario also showed a lot of holes, and we got beat a lot of times. Diggs wasn't even a fucking. I didn't even see him out there, basically, and
I think they avoided him. Probably
they avoided him, but the other guys got picked apart, and
Diggs in the running game was bad. But you're right, AJ. Like we had anytime one receiver goes for 3 touchdowns. Like this Watson guy, I honestly had never even heard of the motherfucker till tonight.
Christian Watson, 4 receptions, 107 yards.
He was their second round pick this year.
Like that, I mean, the guy showed up.
He's fast, big.
Showed up, no game film on him. He's just gonna fucking do those go routes.
Let's see. Can I see Aaron Rodgers stats here?
As Alex to bring that up, Barry Graham Jr. says Tolbert is not NFL ready for a wide receiver to line up offside is wild. And
he's looking at the fucking ref. The motherfucker was looking. He was literally looking at the fucking ref. Which is confusing because usually they look at the ref and the ref will say if they're offside or not, right? It showed the replay of him. He's just standing there staring at him. Fuck me, man. No, you're right, Barry.
It's a boneheaded play.
And then
boneheaded fucking play.
And then Filthy says Anthony is so mad he took his sunglasses off. He's not wrong.
That's kind of funny.
And then Garrick Chiana comes in and says, "What a stupid loss. Please now everyone quit sucking the defense's dicks. Kellen Moore can't call a game for shit." And I don't.
Those are two separate.
Those
things.
are two separate things.
Two separate things.
Well,
Kellen
the
Moore
fact
can't call a game for shit.
Expect this next week to be a lot of this and that. It sucks. A loss sucks, especially one against a team that's coming off of a 5-game losing streak. A quarterback that threw for 3 interceptions last week against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's going to suck. This week's going to be brutal. And
are you just saying that's because you know exactly?
I already know
what you're going to be fighting this week.
I just already know this week's going to suck. I one of my favorite hobbies is to look at Cowboys news and talk Cowboys football. And after a loss, it legitimately sucks. It's like it's a hobby, and it's like it's just shit. when you're coming off a loss, a game that you should have won, it's shitty.
Well, okay. Look forward now. We have to face the Vikings, who just beat the Bills.
Skull. I'm so glad we're gonna be there, though.
It's gonna be great. But we have the Vikings and the Giants coming up the next 2 weeks.
Yep. Got to win both those games.
You think you got to win both, or would you be happy 1-1?
Got to win both.
No,
got to win both.
The thing with the Eagles and the Giants schedule, and the same with ours, is like we don't play that very teams that on paper aren't hard teams. So the Eagles and Giants are going to keep playing against the same teams that we eventually play that aren't in playoff contention, don't have winning records. If we start sliding behind, maybe we don't end up being in that 7th wild card spot, right? Like losing this game automatically makes me think that the Vikings and the Giants have to be wins. They're both in playoffs.
Now you're getting worried about.
I'm getting worried.
Possibly missing playoffs.
Yeah. You got our division leader 8-0, and then we're playing against 2 teams that one is ahead of us because they're winning their division at 8-1, and then the other one's in our division who's 7-2. So like if we got to at least hang with the Giants. We can't lose any more games.
Have to beat the Giants.
Have to beat the Giants.
I honestly think we have to beat both.
Yeah,
no. Have to be both. But if you're picking and choosing between one that I can,
the division, obviously you always want to beat the division foe. 100%.
The shitty thing is if you asked me before today's game and said Green Bay, Vikings, Giants, I would have said Green Bay yes, Vikings, and then Giants yes. Now this Green Bay loss just makes me think like
Aaron Rodgers,
what the fuck?
Aaron
I
Rodgers.
thought we
look
had
at
it.
him.
I
10
thought
for
we had it.
14 for 20, 224 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It makes that Vikings game a little more scary now.
It makes the
makes it
Viking
scary.
games very scary right now, specifically after what the Bills game today. Not saying that the Bills have. I mean, and I don't know.
Those guys are just they're charging right now.
Yeah, but we're gonna be. I'm just glad we're gonna be underdogs. To be honest, I'm glad we're gonna be underdogs, and it is gonna be a tough game. A team doesn't go 8. A team doesn't go 8-1. A team doesn't go 8-1 without being good, right? Like the Vikings are obviously a good team. I still do think we can beat them. What I'm wondering if we can get this up, the Giants. Who do the Giants play next week? I know we're going a little off topic here, but I'd be interested to see who the Giants play. They probably play fucking like Jacksonville or something stupid. I imagine the Giants next week play someone stupid that they'll probably win.
So
against.
Giants play Lions.
Like, I mean, the Lions haven't been playing too
Dude,
bad.
the Lions actually just they fucking. I
They
mean,
beat Chicago.
they beat the Bears, but they're the Bears.
They beat Green Bay last week.
Yeah,
They beat Green Bay last week, who we just lost to, and we beat. It's one of those. It's hard to. You could say this, right? It's like one of those juggling acts. Well, we beat the Lions. The Lions beat the Packers. We beat the Giants, and the Giants play the Lions. It's like this weird thing that you can do.
But unfortunately, I think with the Cowboys, it's like this was a very different game from the previous week that they played in terms of just play calling. I don't know. Like it seemed, I almost actually liked today's game a little bit at times because they were calling a lot more of those. There seemed to be a lot of movement in the backfield.
Moving in the backfield, CeeDee Lamb getting a lot more touches.
CeeDee Lamb, and let's not just
TP20 had a good TP20 had a good game.
CeeDee Lamb had his career best game today.
Yes,
which is going to get overshadowed by us losing. CD had a great game.
Okay, before we break down, I mean, we're starting to break down, and we're kind of going off. Can we just talk? Why would they not have kicked that field goal? That's the thing that it's going to be on everybody's mind right now.
I don't know.
Everybody's saying it in the chat.
I don't
why
know.
did we not kick that field goal? Like
they were
under what circumstance would we not kick that field goal?
They were what on the 44-yard line.
It was about a 55-yard field goal from where they're going.
It was a long field goal. Mayer could kick that.
It's in his range technically because he's made further kicks, but they're also thinking at the time that if they miss, well, now they're getting the ball from where they ended up getting the ball when we went for it for fourth, and they obviously felt more comfortable with a play call. And they thought Dak Prescott and Co could get that first down. Actually, the thing that I got brought to my attention when I was just in my Instagram, just looking at all the guys talking to me, Taylor Chima, one of the guys that I chat with quite a bit about Cowboys football, he said to me, if you're planning to go for it on that fourth down, why not just run the ball on that third down prior, right? Like if you're already planning to go for it and for fourth down, you got 2 plays basically.
Yeah.
Why not on that first play just get guaranteed yards?
Yeah.
Which is a good point, and it's
maybe
kind of
a first down.
And maybe a first down, which kind of plays into how I talk the whole fucking game about first downs. Take your guaranteed
when
yards.
you're at that position in the field and you have a game plan and you know if it's 4th and 4 or whatever, you're gonna go for it. Why are you not just running? Why are you not chipping away at it?
Take the risk of running the ball on 3rd and 4. Maybe you pick up a first down. Maybe it ends up being 3rd and 2.
And especially
or 4th and 2.
If you're gonna kick a field goal too, those 10 yards,
a couple yards more. So I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna read it over the next hours. We're gonna end up reading what they said, why they ended up kicking it. I said when they were lining up that I didn't hate the call, them being aggressive, them trying to win the game. But obviously, the other half of you is when they don't get it. It's like, why wouldn't you just take the fucking points?
Sorry, I was just laughing because Kilo's
why are you guys laughing?
Who's sneezing?
Oh, AJ just sneezing. Yeah, sneezing it up.
I'm sorry. Hey, my mic keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, because you keep jerking the fucking cable off.
You do jerk it.
You
I do jerk it, but I don't touch the bottom of it.
It cut out as you were trying to defend yourself.
It's a bad connection.
It's a bad connection when you fiddle with it.
Well, then we need it fixed regardless.
I don't know. I hate you guys. I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Packers. The only person I don't hate right now is
Matt Vink?
No, Tony Pollard. I hate Vink right now, too.
Okay, so do we have anything else to discuss here about the loss, or can we Be a
Yeah,
little
Dak's-
proactive. Let's look forward.
No,
to-
let's talk about the loss a little bit more.
Okay, I think so.
I'm not
There's
over
more-
it yet. I'm not over it yet.
No.
The 2 Dak Prescott interceptions, terrible.
Well,
Absolutely terrible.
the issue is that it's not.
Micah Parsons didn't show up.
I guess my question to you guys is, that's a surprising thing. Micah Parsons and Diggs were both pretty non-existent today.
Well, Diggs not being non-existent is not a bad thing.
I know.
Do you
but
remember a receiver catching the ball on Diggs?
No, but I'm just saying, like, when Diggs shuts down a wide receiver,
That's good.
it's good. But
It makes
What's-
defense a little
what el-
more
what else
less
is he-
exciting.
What else is he supposed to do?
well, I mean, I guess
When they ran to him, yeah, and he doesn't make the tackles, it's shitty. But he's a corner. His job's to make sure a receiver doesn't catch the ball against him, and that I don't think he had a single catch on him.
I don't think so either.
So it's hard to bitch at Diggs for that. Micah didn't show up. Micah was non-existent. I don't know. There's lots of things in a loss.
The whole D line, Rodgers is not that type of quarterback to make anyone miss with his legs. He has them and he can run first down.
A quick thing I'm looking at here with the passing, Dak 27 for 46.
Too many.
And a terrible completion percentage. That's got to
Terrible.
be under 60%, around 60%.
Yeah,
Because yeah, 27 for 54 is
54 would be 20.
half.
yeah.
So it's just over 50%.
So yeah, it's probably like 59,
That's
58.
horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Dak shouldn't be throwing 46 fucking times.
I know.
How many
No.
fucking times do I have to say it? Dak Prescott should not be throwing
Okay.
more than 35 times.
Not when you see these numbers with Pollard.
Not
and
when
Davis.
our running game is absolutely dominating. Obviously, there was something there. Tony Pollard could have easily taken 8 more carries.
Yes.
Dak would have had
Well, hang on a second.
38
But hang on a second.
passing attempts.
Not even Pollard taking 8 more carries.
Malik.
Give Malik Davis
Either
a couple
of
more
them.
carries. Like 5 for 38 and a 7.6 average. Obviously, give him a couple more snaps, and that average is gonna go down. But Malik looked good. Why not give Malik more reps? Like
I don't
put some fucking confidence in your running game. Even if you're getting fucking 2 or 3 yards, it's better than incompletion.
Yeah,
Period.
but you know what's sexier than running the ball first down? Throwing for an incompletion.
Especially with that passing percentage is so low.
78
terrible.
passer rating.
At what point do you just
Not
Have
do
to
that
abandon
anymore.
that, yeah.
It's kind of mind-boggling. Obviously, it's something they're gonna go. AJ stretching his neck, bro.
I'm stretching my neck, bro. I'm stretching my neck, bro.
it's one of those losses that you just feel like
It just sucks.
It could have been
Should have been a
Could've been.
victory.
it should have been a win.
Absolutely. This one should have been a victory. Next
They're the
week,
favorites. They were up 14. It just
Yeah, they were
I
up
don't know.
14-0 at one, or 28-14 at one point.
I
How
mean,
the
I
fuck
just
do you
look,
let that slip
we're 0-1 right now.
against
Live
Aaron
games,
Rodgers?
live games.
Oh yeah,
CanFan.
yep.
I do not want to go 0-3. So you gotta
Me
fucking
either.
pull your shit together for next.
No, we got to go
next week.
2-1, man.
Yeah.
So what Alex is talking about, we were down in Dallas for the Thanksgiving Day game last year. The Cowboys lost to the Raiders in overtime. So we, as a Cowboys CanFan crew, are right now 0-1 at live games, and we got 2 games coming up.
Well,
Not
One against
Good.
an 8-1 team, and the next one versus 7-2 team. So
what do we do if we lose both these games?
we got to keep going until we get to 500. I'm just gonna stay down in the States until I get back to 2-2.
Matt Somati just left.
I'm about to follow him. I don't even
Fine.
know where Maddie's going. I'm about to follow him though.
Ultra Cowboy says elite defenses don't lose the games after leading 28-14.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong.
No,
okay?
the last 2 games have been weaker games for the defense.
Yep.
The offense have scored a combined 29 points last week
49. Oh, you mean against us?
against us. Yeah.
29 and 31 against us.
Yeah.
29 last week, 31 this week for combined. What's that end up being? 60?
So
60 points?
do we have an elite defense? Yeah, we do. We have all the fucking ingredients for that recipe, but obviously, and it's not acceptable. There's some holes still that they aren't able to fucking compensate for.
Glaring holes, man.
Glaring holes.
One, not being able to stop the run's probably my biggest issue
Yes.
because going into playoffs,
Playoffs?
you have to be able to stop the run. You're going against right now teams like the Eagles, the Vikings, the 49ers, the Seahawks. They all have good running games. we have to be able to stop the run, and we got to shore that up before playoffs.
Yeah, so EJ is kind of going in. I mean, Jose Ultra Cowboys said it a lot this game. EJ's mentioning, if we're being honest, Dan Quinn deserves a lot of blame for the last 2 games against run teams. Our defense is not good. So my question to you is, what do we do given the team that we have? How do we shore up that run defense?
I don't know, man. I think run defense is one of those personnel things. Obviously, you can try to scheme against it better, but then you're probably bringing the safeties down. And it's like you're taking tit for tat. Do you want to let a lot of receiving yards, or do you want to let a lot of rushing yards? And right now, I don't think we have the personnel to stop the running game. If you want to stop a running game, you need your front 7 to be able to do it without having to blitz or having to do other stuff. And I just don't know if we have that front 7 to do it.
This is what you do. You have to lean into your strength on defense. So it's like, okay, our run defense sucks. Now we have to just lean into the blitz. We lean hard into the blitz. Today was not a very good example of having confidence in the CBs with how much we saw that Brown got burned. But that being said, you got to kind of trust in that to hold the fort long enough and allow the blitz to work right. So that's the combination you're looking for.
Yeah.
The run D is not there. And guess what? Teams are absolutely aware, and that's what they're going to continue to do. So what can you do? You have to be prepared for the run, but also fucking utilize the blitz even more. Like, unlock it even more, because
it makes me nervous, AJ, because the times we did blitz today, you have fucking Watson that no one even knows about. What happens when next week when we have to go against Jefferson and we try to blitz and we try to go one-on-one with Boss Man Fat versus Jefferson or whoever the hell on our, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, say we try to blitz next week against the Vikings, and now you're basically, when you're blitzing, more than likely you're going to one coverage, right? You got one safety, and then you're basically going man on.
And that is going to be
an issue.
Probably the issue either way. So I'm just saying, utilize your fucking strengths and just trust in it.
So I'll ask you right now, because I'm reeling to find it, what is our strength of our defense right now?
Pass rush.
So what do you think? Well, one, I thought Micah played way too much linebacker today.
Yes.
Every time he was on the field, it seemed like he was in linebacker. Yeah. Micah should be, I hate to say it, but that dude should just be blitzing the quarterback every time.
And the reason I'm saying this now is because I've seen this game and the rest of the season, and I see that, like, Micah in linebacker is just not threatening. It doesn't really add as much value.
There was times he was at linebacker and they did a sweep and they still picked up a first down.
Yeah.
It'd be different if he's playing linebacker and they do a sweep and he tackles him for 2
Exactly.
It's one of those scenarios where you think, okay, well, they're watching all this game film and they think that, okay, if Micah goes in and he's blitzing, he's putting that type of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, they're going to do this play, and then we can't stop it there. So we have a better opportunity with Micah and linebacker to force this type of play to stop it. Obviously, I'm thinking that that's what they're doing because they're paying a lot of, like, the whole team's paid a lot of money to analyze these games versus us just kind of defensive coordinating on a couch. But what they did today did not work, period. So it's like, throw Micah in there and let somebody like Micah with his athletic prowess fucking do the damage that he can do.
I mean,
as a defensive end.
You say that about us being on couches and stuff, but the games that Mike has predominantly played on the defensive line, they've won, and he's had sacks.
No, I know. What I'm saying is that
maybe they were trying something different today.
Yeah, well,
his point is just, why were they?
Yeah,
why you
could just be a learning point. I just fucking hate losing. I fucking hate it. Makes this shit unbearable almost. About to come over there and just rip AJ's head off.
Fucking beat him up.
Drink blood out of his throat.
Let him bang, bro. Let him bang. A lot of the chat in multiple on TikTok and on YouTube is calling for Dan Quinn being having holes in Dan Quinn's defense.
Still better than what we had before Dan Quinn.
Barry Grant Jr. makes a good point. I put it up there earlier. He said it's not a Dan Quinn issue. It's a personnel issue. They need to
get some big bodies.
You need to make trades to shore up your weaknesses.
Yeah, they tried a little bit, but they didn't do enough. And they knew going into the trade deadline that stopping the run was a problem. They traded for
Yep.
Jonathan Hankins, who's been all right, but like they traded what? They basically swapped 6-round picks. They needed to. If you know that you're 1 or 2 pieces away from being a Super Bowl contending defense, why not trade a pick from next year to get that guy? Like, what are you guys playing for? Are you playing to win this year and win a Super Bowl, or are you trying to just stay kind of in the contention for the next 4 years?
Look, I believe if you think you're in, maybe you don't trade next year's pick, but you can trade the pick after.
But would you not pick trade a 3rd-round pick for a guy that could have came on the defensive line in the middle and made
Yes.
immediate impact?
Yes.
A known commodity.
Like a known commodity. It doesn't even have to be a 1st-round pick.
With
A
the value of NFL picks nowadays, absolutely.
So I mean, look at our and I've said this multiple times. I'm going to say it again. Look at our 3rd-round pick this year, Tolbert. What the fuck did he do today? The only thing he did was get that offside. That offside that literally killed us. So
we weren't even sure that he was playing, and then the only time we knew is when
because he fucked up bad.
Don't
Like,
just stare at me. Go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want Tolbert to succeed, but unfortunately, he has just proven time and time again that he is just
it's
not.
weird.
behind the
They're
eight
those
ball.
draft
An
picks though.
NFL
Within
player.
8-9 weeks in the NFL, you're like, I think this guy's just a fucking bust.
Yep.
Yeah,
And this is one.
He just seems like one of those guys that just doesn't get it.
Here's
he seems like he might be that guy.
here's another scary scenario. All the defensive woes aside, we look at our offense. We had the potential of Michael Gallup and Noah Brown today. Both had Gallup looked like maybe because it was almost a non-contact injury that he might be out for the season because of he holds up on his knee. Luckily, he came back and played. And Noah Brown, same thing, came back and played, but he was injured as well. So now that wide receiver cord underneath CeeDee Lamb is pretty fucking weak.
Get OBJ, son.
If Gallup or Brown goes down, who do we have?
And
A bunch of fucking clone zone tight ends.
Actual chance they get OBJ? Like, what's your feeling on?
Not if he just watches the game. If OBJ was watching this game, there's no fucking way. Like, if I was OBJ, I'd be going to the Vikings, man. To be honest, he didn't even put it on. He didn't even put them on his top 5 teams.
Right.
If I watched all the games today and was making my decision as a wide receiver in the
got
NFL,
his LSU wide receiver Jefferson.
yeah, he's got
Give him a
Jefferson
tag,
there.
Give him a text.
That's what I mean. Why not just go? I mean, and even the Giants. Like, I honestly, if we were in the Odell Beckham sweepstakes, unless we plan on paying more than other people, after watching today, there's no fucking way I'd be coming to us. In honesty, would you guys?
I kind of feel different.
You kind of
honestly.
you just said my point. My point is, CeeDee Lamb had his career game today. By the way,
Great game.
11 receptions, 150 yards, 2 tutties.
Can I time you out? I got to time us out because we'll forget if I don't do it right now.
Yep.
AJ, Kraken player of the game. Who's your guy?
Oh, right.
fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll forget if I don't say it right now.
CeeDee
We'll
Lamb.
forget.
We have to pick somebody on the Cowboys, right?
Yes, I think it's gonna be I think we're all gonna. I think it's
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, unanimous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
CeeDee
CeeDee
Lamb was
Lamb.
the Kraken player of the game. Like you said, career game, 2 touchdowns, 135 yards, 11 catches. It's hard to go
It's
against.
very hard to pick a Kraken.
I
player
mean,
today
Tony
and win.
Pollard played well too, but CeeDee Lamb, Kraken player of the game.
No, you got to.
Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. I wish he would have been. To be honest.
If we would have won, would you have picked him?
Mike McCarthy for the player of the game,
Kraken player of the game.
but he's not playing.
Who was
I'm
week
just saying
8?
you could still pick him if you wanted to.
Would I have picked Mike McCarthy? Probably not.
Who was week 8?
Who was week 8? Week 8 was Tony Pollard. He had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we went to the bye week.
And then we went to the bye week. Who was the bye week player or Kraken player of the game? Guys, this is always fun when we win, and then when we lose, I just fucking hate doing it. Just drives me absolutely nuts. I want to just do to my mic what AJ does to his. Fucking squeeze
Manhandle it.
Manhandle it a little bit.
There's not much more to look at it in stats because unfortunately the Cowboys didn't really.
We're not
do
gonna
much.
look much at stats.
You know what, though?
We're gonna do final thoughts.
Schultz did pull up shop, 6 receptions, the second most on the team, 54 yards
And a tug.
and a touchdown. So he's still saying, "Look, I know the clone zone exists, but I'm Big Daddy."
Well, we already
Clone."
said Schultz is still our best tight end.
Absolutely.
He is our best tight end.
100%.
Obviously, Fergalicious in the clone zone and fucking Hendershot and McKeon, they're vying for reps, but Dalton Schultz, if healthy, is still our best. I'd say receiving threat, and even he's been actually. I'll give him some credit. He's been blocking fairly well this year too. He's still our number one tight end by a long shot.
Absolutely.
And fans, if you can clip that audio and send it to him.
Yes,
Send it to him,
Schultz,
please.
unblock us, big hand baller 9.
Bingham Baller 9.
Jose Ultra Cowboy says Cooper 4-1, Trashcott 2-2.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Is he 2-2? No.
I'm
Who else did Dak lose to this year? Oh no,
First
yeah,
game.
he did. He did.
First
Yeah.
game,
Bucks
Yeah.
and Packers.
Yeah. Okay. 2-2. You're right. Ultra Cowboy, if that is your real name. I don't know,
Well,
guys.
that's-
Should we get some final thoughts? Because
Yeah. Let's do final thoughts.
I'm a minute
and,
or two away from here from bottling Vink. It's just full screech bottle right over his head.
At least use this one.
Yeah, the half empty because it might break a little easier. Less volume.
Final thoughts from me.
I can't
Final
wait.
thoughts.
I can't
vape
wait
too
to.
much.
I can't wait to spend a full week with you.
Dude, it's gonna be a great time.
You have no way of smoking
It's
weed
weed.
down there.
It's not legal in Texas, is
No,
it?
it's or anywhere that we're driving. If they catch him with weed, they're gonna take him into the county jail.
They're not gonna know what to do.
They're gonna say, "Hey, sir, you smell like that
But yeah, but the problem is
marijuana cigarette."
the problem when Alex doesn't have it, he fucking goes ham on the shit like lime burritos, and then he gets KO'd by the end of the game, and we can't do
Hey,
anything
I'm
with him.
okay with it. A KO'd AJ as long as we get a W.
Yeah.
A George W. Man,
Big W.
6-3, guys. I don't hate it. I'm happy that we're 6-3. Fuck, we should have won today.
We should have fucking won today.
It was an eye-opening loss, and what we can take away from it, that's the beneficial thing, because we got 2 opponents back-to-back here that
With
are
winning
looking to win.
records.
Yeah.
8-1 and then 7-2 currently.
So
Final thoughts. Let's go around. You sons of bitches.
my final thoughts is just
I thought you gave yours already. I'm kidding. I'm
okay.
kidding.
I did. Maybe I did. Here's my second final thought is continue to run the ball. There's a lot of promise in that backfield.
Run that fucking pigskin. Run that fucking pigskin. Adbest, you're up.
Sorry.
Final thought. I don't care. Just think of a final thought. I
fi-
get you were doing other shit.
Final thought is that I still think that our coaching staff is struggling on certain play calls. I'm not going to group Dan Quinn into that. I know we keep talking about the running, the running coverage that our team is non-existent on. But I think like Kellen Moore and even Mike McCarthy, there's just questionable play calls. Field goal at the end of the game is like, take the fucking W. Like, what are we doing? We do not need to do. Mike. I don't want to say that you're egotistical because I don't even know you at all. So the fact of the matter is that you don't need to have a touchdown to win the game. Get the fucking field goal. And I get it. There's other circumstances, the length and all that, but I don't know. I think that and the fact that we don't fucking run it every single first and second down is just absolutely
At this point, just do it. Just see what happens if you do it.
Yeah, someone in the chat said bring out the Cooper Rush playbook, and we were not necessarily fully doing the Cooper Rush playbook today at all, but like play like you have Cooper Rush in there, not Dak Prescott.
Cooper Rush was never thrown for 46 attempts in a game.
Ever.
Ever.
The most rush through was, I think he might have actually been in the 40s, was against the Eagles, and he threw three interceptions and we lost. So the one time that they went away from the Cooper Rush playbook with Cooper Rush, we lost. So it's like whatever playbook you guys have used to win, and this sounds cliche, get back to that. Minus, like Vink said, no one should ever be thrown for 46 yards or 46 attempts on this team. I'm just gonna end it on that. For myself, Vink, you'll get yours here. Mine is I don't ever want to see a Cowboys quarterback throwing more than 35 times in a game.
It's too much.
That's it for me.
My final thoughts is I think I'm officially a bandwagon fan now.
Yeah.
I'm,
Got your first loss.
I'm feeling a little upset from
It
this
sucked,
loss.
right? It sucked.
It's not very much fun.
Yeah,
No, it
no,
sucks
Matt.
when we lose.
It fucking sucks.
When we're winning, we're doing shotguns, we're jumping around.
It's the funnest time.
Snorting cocaine off Alex's butthole.
Hey,
Wait, that's not the cameras usually aren't on for that, are they?
Look at them.
that's CD.
Does this? Does this hurt us going into the Minnesota game?
Actually, makes me more stoked up, man. It makes me more stoked up. We're coming off a big loss. We're going to be 100% the underdogs going against an 8-1 team. We're going into enemy territory. I'm pretty fucking jacked up, to be honest.
Your boys at the CanFan, we're going to be there live on location. Minnesota Cowboys, we're there. Fucking Sunday, November 20th. Get at us. I don't know. We're not going to be live streaming. We're not actually going to be live streaming the next 2 games because we're going to be at the motherfucking games.
But we'll be live streaming throughout the week. We're flying down. This loss sucked balls, but we'll be back, baby. Thanks for coming by, man.
Welcome back to another episode of the CanFan. Oh shit.